Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sam's Wrecking Yard. So today I'm working on my wife's 2018 Hyundai Elantra. Today's Monday, the other day on Friday, it developed a very distinctive knocking while she was driving down the road. So I had a look at it, checked it, and of course I determined that it was the CV axle. I determined that it was the left CV axle, so here's to hoping that I got it right. What's good, YouTube? Welcome to Sam's Wrecking Yard. So I'm gonna bring you guys along with me and see if I got it right. Oh my. Lug nuts are loose. Like, really loose. So I haven't done anything yet. It's loose, that one's loose. That one's loose. That one's tight. That one's tight. So 2 of the 5 are actually holding this thing on. I wonder if that's the issue. Well, no, I don't think that was the issue. It may have been the issue that caused this issue, but I think it's still this issue, the CV axle. So I'm going to quickly spin this off and we'll get to it. And these are 13/16 lug nuts. Turn you guys proper here finally. So here's our CV axle. Well, I think I'm just gonna keep on pushing forward with this because when I drive it, it does go dog 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 dog, and then when you have the accelerator on just a touch, it levels out. But the second you pull your foot off it, it gets back into the dog 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 dog. Kind of goes away when you turn right, gets a little worse when you turn left. So I'm gonna keep pushing on with this. So that axle lug nut should be not this one. What is this? Oh, great. Might have to go find an axle lug nut. 1 1/4 inch or 32 millimeters, I believe it is. So I will go hunt that down or call a friend. Helpline. I'll be right back. Well, of course, story of my life. Can't find it. Probably around here somewhere. Or I may have left it in one of those cars that I fixed earlier in the channel. So that was a great big huge fail. So I went and bought one. 32 mils. Like a glove. Thing is though, usually a cotter pin, but I'm wondering if it's because this is a Korean made unit. So it looks like I might have to pound these out. That's a hard nope. I just had to spin it off. Underneath it here, there should be 3 17 mils. 1, 2, 3. Take those off, and then take those off, and then this lower ball joint can just move flash out. I'll disconnect the tie rod and just kind of lay it to the side. Now I've seen this done both ways, where caliper comes off and the caliper stays on. So when we get to that point, we'll find out. But for right now, I'm going to see if that's free. Just like that. I'm thinking of this now. I should probably get the outer tie rod disconnected first. So of course you always have to take out the cotter pin first. There's only one side of it left. Lordy. Sometimes they like to come out, and most times they don't like to come out though. Yeah, I'm not used to working on vehicles this new. Don't mean to jinx myself here at all, but this is really nice. Ta-da! Now I'll take off that nut, lightly tap that, and that should pop it down. Okay, got that out. Just had to persuade right here a little bit more, and she was able to pop out. One thing I don't like though is this is a sealed unit, means I can't grease this. So more than likely we're gonna have to do tie rod ends pretty soon here. Yeah, so down here takes a little bit. You just kind of figure out how to pry this piece down, and then this one here is your lower ball joint. Just swings around. Okay. That's where your CV axle inside is. And back in there, that's your transaxle, which is your transaxle, that's your transmission, which is what this hooks up to. So it doesn't want to let go. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get a pry bar up and through there somehow. Alright, so that went a lot nicer than I thought it was gonna. So there's our more than likely blown CV axle. And there's where it goes back into. Right there. Okay. So I will open up my new one and we'll compare it. So got the old one out, got the new one here. I got my baby behind the camera. So one thing I found out today about these is that there's US made models and there's Korean made models. And I also found out today that this is a Korean made model, and the VIN number starts with the letter K for Korea. One good thing was that the part numbers were the exact same for both, so good there. But you always want to do your due diligence and double check. Make sure that they at least look similar. Oh, look, I got a new nut. All right, so this is your inner, and this is your outer. That's a good one. This is your outer, and this is your inner. That had a lot less play. It sounded like there was grease in there. And I can't push it in. Whereas this one, so that's that sound you hear. When you're driving down the road, some don't quite sound right, and you got a front wheel drive vehicle, probably your CV axle. So now I will take up all of this room so you can't see me and try to feed this back in that little hole over there. We don't see any special splines. is always the fun way. Fun part, I mean. Because you need a straight shot to get it in. But you never get that. So what I'm trying to pop it over is this C-clip ring thing. That has to slide inside and unlock inside. There she goes. All right, so the next part is to get this back over this.
Whoa.
So that splines want to come through here.
It's so hard to stay steady because my hands are so shaky.
You're doing great, baby.
If anything, this thing is helping because it stays steady. It's just me moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
The birds are so loud. Like, how can I see the moon? I don't know. Weather makes no sense.
Weather makes no sense.
It's true.
Okay. There she is.
Battery. I don't have a battery.
Oh, battery.
I'm gonna eat it. That's actually a pretty good throw.
That was a really good throw. Okay. All right. Now, so we got that in. Now we're back to this. So there's 2 bolts on the bottom side of your lower ball joint. You got to get in there, and it walks free like that. So bit of a process, but oh no, stay in. No, now the other side popped out of me. Nope, I'm good there. Okay. Oh, push that down. Oh, you're gonna try to
Lay down, yeah.
Okay.
To get under this straw.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You ready?
Yep. That's why I laid down.
Perfect. And then she should just slide all back into place like that. And this one can
I
go
don't want to
on.
get up now.
Huh?
So I don't want to get up now.
Oh, okay. That where you're retiring for the night?
Yep.
Okay.
Because I can still get different angles.
So, this one is a bolt that goes up, and the other 2 are just nuts.
This trapper is so confusing. There we go. Now I can get up.
I find out what the torque specs are. But right now, getting everything hand tight in there. Okay, a little bit more than hand tight, but still. And if you're fortunate enough to have lifted your car high enough to use an Ugga-Dugga under there, just give it all the Ugga-Duggas. So the reason we call impact wrenches Ugga-Duggas, baby, is because the air ones sound like they're saying Ugga-Dugga-Dugga-Dugga-Dugga-Dugga-Dugga.
I can see.
So in there, there's a hole that these cotter pins go through, and you got to line up these crown nuts, which is what these are, and they're called that because they look like a crown because they have these cuts in there. Oops, sorry. So a little bit further up. A little bit further up. So all the cotter pin's job is just to make sure that that nut doesn't randomly back out while you're driving down the highway. I've seen people use small nails. I've people seen use random things of that nature. Lengths of wire that can fit through there. All it does is just make sure that that nut can't back off. The torque spec is about that much on that one. About that much on that one. You okay over there? All dirty. It's been a while since she's been out here with me. And the torque spec on that one is about that much on that one. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually gonna turn you guys off, look up the torque specs for that, and use my torque wrench.
There we go. Oh.
All right, so torque spec says 80 to 100 foot-pounds. That's at 80 or 70 already. That one's at 70. That one's at 70. Now we crank our torque wrench up to 80 foot-pounds. Up to 80. So you always go up in increments to make sure you get a good solid torque. All right, now we're just gonna bump this straight up to 100. Even with your tires, you wanna, anything you're torquing down, you wanna do in a pattern. And slowly. Just makes darn sure that you get your desired torque and it's true. There we go. So these ones here, remember on the original one they were bashed in, so I gotta find something to help me bash those in. All right, so I just used whatever tool I could find the closest that I could use to bash those in. Those are literally just there to help make sure that that nut doesn't just randomly back off. So that axle nut calls for 188 foot-pounds of torque. I can guarantee you that my couple of Ugga-Duggas are not 188 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my torque wrench set up and work my way towards 188 foot-pounds. Well, apparently my Ugga-Duggas and everything was up to spec. I actually went up to 195 before it moved at all. That's how to put in a, remove and put back in a driver's side front left CV axle on a 2018 Hyundai Elantra. Mine is a sedan, well my wife's is a sedan. Now I will put the wheel back on and then we'll go for a test drive. All right, tires back on, everything's moved. Time to go for a test drive. So what we're hoping not to hear is any knocking of any sort. So I'm gonna back out, go slow, and we'll see if there's anything. Well, good news is, can't hear nothing yet. Of course, now I'm at the end of my driveway. I will let you guys know what the outcome is. All right, test drive went great. Apparently I was right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and retorque those driver's side front tire lug nuts. I'm gonna go for 85 and then 90 foot-pounds. And then I'm gonna check all four of the wheels. All right, guys, that's it for me here. Thank you very much for coming. Have a great day and see you in another episode. Cheers.